Hi, everyone. I'm Holly Mandel, the CEO and founder of Emergence.
And I'm Sarah Hicks. I'm the director of corporate events at Emergence.
And today we're going to be talking about the connection between what we do at Emergence with corporate improv training and a Mel Robbins podcast. We love our Mel. And talking to Steve Magnus, who is a coach. I think he works with like the best athletes in the world. And he's also now a mindset coach for also businesses. So they had a podcast. It was a couple weeks ago, episode 294 to be exact.
Oh,
And he's
facts.
talking about his, what would you say?
I said facts.
Facts, like facts. Mental toughness is his claim to fame. And so Sarah and I are excited to unpack what they talked about in the podcast because we feel what we do is the how. We
Yeah.
listen to a lot of podcasts, we hear a lot of books being talked about, and we often go like, that all sounds great, but y'all don't talk about how to get a group of people to do these things.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so excited to dive in. Especially, he's a runner. He's like a big running coach. And I'm like, that's got to take some mental toughness because the one time I tried to run for a train, it was not good.
No.
My mental toughness was sacrificed.
Cool. So there's lots of things in the book to focus on. I think the first thing that I would like to is something that he refers to as this flow state. Sarah, I'm sure you can speak to it. Improv is really about being in a flow state, but athletes talk about it. Geniuses talk about it. This thing just happens. I think it's after people have a couple shots of tequila and they karaoke and they're just in this state. Um, so what he says in his book is this idea. I'm trying to find the point. We took notes because we like to. If you look at, see, mine's on. I can't pull up my notebook. It's online. Oh.
You went digital. It's 2025.
Carl Lewis, for instance, or Usain Bolt. If you look at them, they appear to be functioning at almost like a superhuman state, and they have a joy about them. And so, Sarah, do you want to say anything about like what you've noticed or what your understanding of this flow state is?
Yeah, I think the first time I actually heard about flow state was there was a book that was talking about when you're a child and there's something that you're doing that you forgot to eat that day. Your parents couldn't get you out of it. Like you're probably doing some kind of project and it's something that as an adult you can kind of flash back to that kind of idea where it's just like everything is working. You wouldn't want to be anywhere else. You can't stop it even if you wanted to. Like you're in this like thing of like, oh my God, time dissolves.
Exactly.
And I think you can see it, and because of what he's talking about with Usain and all these like really amazing athletes, is you can actually see the joy in their face when they're doing it.
Yeah.
And so I think what we like to do, and I think what he's getting out of this book is like, how can you get to that space and know that it's a space of joy? So if you're kind of feeling joyful at the same time, you know you're in the right path.
Right.
And he gives a lot of really great tips on what he's noticed and what he's noticed from really high potential runners and what like high school students. It's all kind of like, how can you get yourself out of your own way
Yeah.
and
And
let the flow?
yeah, this idea of flow state is so valuable. If you're in a creative field, they often talk about, how rare it is. They call it synergy is another kind of hip word. Our company is actually called Emergence because the state of emergence to me is connected to the flow state. It's like, how do you get a collective emergence happening within a company? I mean, imagine a company who hits that twice as much as they're doing now, even what would happen? And then we threw the I in there to say that it can be done through improv. And that's been our experience. But when we improvise, we're in a flow state. They're one and the same. You can't do improv not in a flow state.
Yeah, and what I am also putting together, which I love that what this writer is talking about and what this coach is talking about, and he's doing it on an individual basis. And I think the cool thing about improv and what we try to help people with is it's more than just the individual. Like, how can you, once the individual is flowing, how can you get a group of people in flow state with one another? Like
Totally.
that's the way that like the
Right.
dream happens.
That's right. That's right. It's really phenomenal. And in this section, he says you can't pressure your way into flow. And I think that is such an interesting thing to think about because as much as we want it, the idea of like, oh, I have to do this thing and I have to perform well. I mean, if you think about running in the Olympics like these gentlemen are doing, uh, the fact that they can find this ease and joy in the midst of wanting something so bad is a really interesting thing of like, why does that actually backfire? You would think, and I think the older models of management and living are focus, work hard, blah, 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 blah. And we're finding that isn't working.
Yeah, and I one of the suggestions he makes is because he also talked about this female runner who was she was like the fastest half marathon winner, and
Sarah.
she was having a really hard time because she kept focusing on like, I need to win the race. So making it an outside circumstance was the important thing. And then once they worked together and they made it an internal, like, I want to be around this group of women. I want to run at a way that makes me proud. I want to have a good time. That's the joy, bringing that like community and joy back into it takes the pressure off of the outside circumstance that no one can control anyway.
Right.
So
Right.
once you take that away and you just get in, I think it's the play. Once you get in the play of it, that's where you perform at your best instead of worrying about these external things that you can't control.
Right. Right. You're going to do your best to do the thing. And that's all you can do. But how do you guarantee that you're at your best? I think is what's so interesting.
Mm,
It's not like, it's like what Yoda might say is, to want the thing is to not want the thing or to get the, whatever.
it's a good
Well,
impression.
thanks. I do the voice because it'll be embarrassing. I can't do it right now. But I do have a Yoda in my car. And
Missed opportunity.
but he does talk about this. Let me see if I can find it in my digital note taking. Um, oh, that we experience this freak out, this discomfort. And I think even the younger generations, they're finding that this Gen Z group has even a smaller bandwidth for discomfort, but even just personalities do. Internals, introverts are often have a different things that trigger their discomfort. So we all sort of have our version of what makes us uncomfortable. But what's fascinating is the brain interprets that as danger. And we
Yeah.
don't know the difference between presenting for 10 people on a Zoom call and a dinosaur chasing you. We can't tell the difference internally. And so, what he said in his book, which I think we could speak to seeing all the time, is oh my God, I can't do it. If I don't get this thing, it's going to be really bad. And so the brain responds with making us not do it. It makes us want to avoid it. It says that escaping doing this thing is the best result. So when we're talking about like what's the best version of me that I can then accomplish this, you do have to ask, well, which version of you? Because that version of us is saying the best thing to do is not do it.
Yeah. And that's why in a lot of our sessions, when we first start, sometimes we do sessions where people don't know right away that we're going to be doing improv. And then once the word comes out, like once the cat's out of the bag, it's the crossing arms. And then we're standing in a circle and someone just like, all of a sudden, one time, remember, we saw a guy, we were working with a company, and then the guy, like, there was a curtain, and he kind of like pulled pulled himself behind this curtain, and it was like everything in his body was telling him like, get out, don't do it, don't try it, you're not going to be good at it, quit now. And that's never going to help. And I will say to that guy, I wish I remembered his name, by the end he was like, I love improv, I can
Yeah,
do it.
because they probably feel the freedom of a new way to experience discomfort, which is that it doesn't necessarily have to stop. And I think he even said, um, what we resist persists.
Mm-hmm.
Persists. And I love that phrase because I think when we go into companies, um, what you might be seeing is sort of like the result of a lot of people resisting a level of discomfort or a level of confusion or a level of ambiguity. There's so much ambiguity right now in the world and companies.
Distrust.
Yes, exactly, mistrust. That we are wired to interpret that on some level as let's not do anything, let's hunker down, best not to walk into the office and ask the question I need to ask, whatever it is.
It's the I think the cool part about it is we're learning, and you and I love talking about brain stuff all day long. But it's the now that we know this, that our brain does this, and it's been proven time and time again that this is what it, like, fight, flight, freeze, like we all do these things. Now that we know that that's what the brain's designed to do, we can override it.
Yes.
We can override the system. We can get up, we can practice doing uncomfortable things over and over and over again, which is what an improv class is. Get up, make something up. It's never going to be the same every time. Get up, get your reps in, sports reference.
Nice. Nice.
And then you prove to yourself that your brain can handle it.
That's right. That's right. So we were very excited about this podcast, and Mel often has people, we call her Mel.
She's our
Um,
friend.
yeah, the MR, that really highlight different ways of thinking about business because business is changing in the way we think about it. And we're just very happy to be part of the conversation. And we do these, um, I don't even know what these are. Recorded conversations. What are they?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Are we a podcast? We don't have a big mic. I don't think we're a
We don't
podcast.
have a big mic. It doesn't count. We just have a Zoom square.
Yeah, that's all we're
We're a Zoomcast. We
for Zoomcast. We like that. But we want to do these because the thing that we feel most passionate about is bringing improv to people who don't even understand why it can be a game changer. And it really has. We've been doing this for since 2011, 2012, and the changes that companies report and just opening up possibilities of how else could you show up to work and collaborate differently is what we're here for.
Yeah. Ah, and it's fun. And
And
it's a fun way to do it instead of running. It's not fun to some people.
no offense, Steve, but
No offense. Oh,
God,
yes.
God bless. All right. Well, thank you for watching. And if this is intriguing to you or someone you know, or you would like to hear more about how improv might be able to help you or your company, we have 2 phones. We're ready.
Got 4 phones.
We have 4 phones now.